welcome to another edition of the SOS Show. We're at Los Angeles International Airport with Kuliana, Katie, Kenzie, and the oddball of the group, Brinkley. Brinkley, why don't you have a name that starts with K, like Kinkley? We're going to call you Kinkley. How's that sound?
Okay.
Okay. So, we are going to
Disneyland!
Isn't that fun? Can't wait.
So fun.
So they just flew in from Arizona, and they're in all a good mood, right?
Yeah.
Because they're going to Disneyland.
Yeah.
How can you not be in a good mood? It's going to take us an hour and a half to get there, if we're lucky. But that's all good.
Keep right.
We're going to have some fun. So we're going to talk to the girls and see what their loves, their passions, their desires, their dreams are. And let's start with Kuliana.
Okay.
She's the main dog that hailed me down. And Kuliana, you are from?
I am from Gilbert.
Oh, you're from Gilbert?
Well, no, sorry. I'm from a little tiny town in southeastern Arizona called Pima.
Okay.
Pima, Arizona.
Pima.
But
Not Puma.
Not Pima.
There's a Puma, right? There's a Puma? Oh, that's Peru, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm really bad with geography. So you come from a little bitty town called Pima.
Yep.
And growing up as a little girl, like these little girls back there, what were your dreams in life?
I actually wanted to be an FBI agent growing up.
Not too late for that.
I know.
Are these your children, by the way?
Maybe it's one of mine. I have 5.
You have 5 children.
5 children.
All girls?
1 girl, 4 boys.
Oh, because my daughter has 5 girls. So that'd be funny. So, well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you dumped them and you just brought the special one.
Yep. The boys are all going camping.
Oh, the boys are going
So
camping, the
we're
girls are going
coming to
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were brought up in a little bitty town with 1 school in the
Tiny.
town.
Graduated with 40.
And you met and fell in love with the boy down the street?
No.
From Pima?
Went to the junior college there and met my hubby, who's from New Mexico.
Oh.
Grants, New Mexico. Another small.
Which is a faraway land that you didn't
Yeah.
know about in
Yeah.
Arizona, right?
Yeah. Land of enchantment.
Okay. And you fell in love,
Uh-huh.
and you've been married how long?
16 years.
Congratulations. Woo-hoo. I've been married 36 years,
Awesome.
and I'm a great-grandfather.
Oh.
So I have a little bit of advice if you need some advice, but it seems like you're doing well with that. And your husband is a fuel broker,
Yup.
and I'm a failed fuel broker because all I've met was crooks and con men and bullshit artists that say they have the fuel, you know. But so maybe I've got 1 or 2 connections in Texas. Where does he buy his fuel from? Do you know? His suppliers?
His suppliers, I don't know, all over the place. I know that there's one in Lupton somewhere.
GPS signal
I don't know.
lost.
There's, you lost your GPS signal.
Jeez, I don't know where to go. We're going north. It doesn't say take this. Where does it says take the Imperial Highway? I'm not going to take the Imperial Highway.
You're not going to take
I'm going
it.
to take the 105. I mean, this doesn't make any sense to take Imperial Highway. We have an hour and a half to go. I mean,
Keep left.
so I was on the 110 going to last time I went to Disneyland, and this is the second only time I went to Disneyland. But the first time
Quarter mile. Merge
we're
onto
on what's
I-105
the 10 freeway, and it said an hour and 46 minutes to get to Disneyland, which is about the same distance we are now.
Yeah.
A half hour later, it said an hour and 47 minutes.
Oh, no.
So oh my God, I mean, it was just devastating. So we finally got off the on the 110, which is there's lots of freeways around here, by the way, as you might know. And then it went down to 50 minutes. So obviously there was an accident or something, but that was horrific.
Yeah.
It's- But I hitchhiked around the world, and so I always like to give people in the car a conversation.
Continue on
So, I mean, that makes the ride go better.
17
Yeah.
miles.
So the hour and 32 minutes is going to go by pretty quick because we're all going to be chatting.
Yeah.
The girls are going to tell us their dreams and aspirations, as is Katie. So you live in a bigger town now. You moved up to the big town in Arizona.
Yeah, we actually moved to Albuquerque for 10 years, and we just moved to Gilbert 2 years ago.
Okay.
So yeah.
Very nice. And your husband's dream in life was you wanted to be an FBI agent, and you became a mother.
Yep. I did.
of many mothers.
Yes.
many times a mother.
Yes.
And he wanted to be what in his dream?
Well, in college he was going to school to be an engineer and couldn't get past calculus 2.
Oh, I couldn't even spell calculus.
So then he became a financial planner, and he also built homes, and we moved to Albuquerque, and he became friends with the guy that his father owned this company, this fuel brokership company.
Uh-huh.
And they hired him on, and he's been doing it ever since.
Well, if he's doing any deals, he's making a lot of money, unless he's just an employee.
He does pretty good.
I mean, hopefully he's making a piece of the action. Yeah, so I'm sure he's doing well. That's good. So, Katie, you got to get in the screen here. We can't see you behind me.
She's hiding.
There she is. Hey, Katie. Welcome to the show. So tell us about yourself.
I was born in Utah, moved to Mesa, Arizona, when I was 3. I have been married for, what year? 17? No, is it 16?
I think it's 16.
What year did you? Yeah, 16 years, and I have 4 kids, 3 boys and 1 girl.
And they all went camping, too.
Yep, and the boys are camping, so the girls are playing.
That's great. And what does your husband do?
My husband, when we first got married, he owned a framing company called Stud Construction.
Okay.
And then he was a general contractor, and then when the economy tanked, he got into real estate.
Okay. So he's doing well in real estate?
Yeah, so he like buys and sells houses, was kind of like the middleman.
Okay. So what is a medium? You both live in the same city, right?
Yeah, we live 2 streets down from each other.
Of course. What does a medium house in that city go for?
In Gilbert, maybe like a medium-sized house. I don't know.
300-400?
Yeah.
That sound that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty inexpensive.
Yeah.
Because you
not
know
too bad.
you can't find a tear down for under
Right,
$1
here.
million here.
Yeah.
So.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So the girls, step right up. Who wants to talk first? Now, who do you belong to? She looks to
She's
Katie.
mine.
That's yours. I should have guessed that.
Yeah. The whiter one.
How old are you?
I'm 9.
9. Wow. Are you the oldest or the youngest?
The youngest.
The youngest. So do you get along with your siblings?
No.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
An actress?
An actress. Are you studying yet?
No.
Why?
I don't know.
Why not?
This summer you are. You're doing them.
Yeah, this summer I am.
Yeah, you get a script and read some lines. You know, because today's very competitive. Kids are playing the piano at 2 and creating, compositions at 3 and things. I mean, it's just a fierce world we live in. And I think you need to start early, to get good, especially acting. It's just practice. I mean, I think a lot of actors aren't even actors; they're just being themselves. I mean, I hate to say it, but I don't think Jennifer Aniston's an actor. I think she's always Jennifer Aniston, just speaking lines in every movie, right? I mean, there's some brilliant actors out there. Ben Kingsley, rather. Keanu Reeves, I think, is a wonderful actor. But it's an admirable trait, as long as you do it for the love, not for the money. Because if you do anything for the love, you'll make money from it because you'll enjoy it, and the money comes afterwards. But money is the root of all evil. Just remember that. I know some billionaires, and I wouldn't wish.
Wouldn't want to be them.
You don't want to wish money or fame on your worst enemies.
Really?
But most humans can't handle it. It's just not. It's not normal to have billions of dollars, or you can't go out in public, and have a dinner.
Normal life.
Yeah, no, you just can't. It's just. And so there's a price for fame and fortune, and the price is, one is you don't know who your friends are, because if you're a billionaire, you should never tell anyone you're a billionaire. Oh, by the way, if you win the lottery, and there's a secret, if you win the lottery, the first thing you do, you call everyone you know, and you ask to borrow $1,000. Everybody. And then when it goes out that you're a millionaire, they're all going to call and ask for money.
True.
But yeah, no, it's I mean, John Paul, my friend, is way down to earth. Because he was penniless and homeless, and you know, the real people that made billions and didn't go to school. They're just entrepreneurial and hard workers, and made it happen. But no, man, fame and fortune's not a good thing. Most, I mean, did you see All the Money in the World, the movie? The J. Paul Getty story?
Did you guys see it?
Nope.
He was not only the richest man in the world, he was the richest man ever in the world.
Wow.
And he would put phone booths, payphones, in his mansions. I mean, and then when they kidnapped his grandson, he wouldn't pay the ransom. His reasoning was, if I pay his ransom, all my kids will be...
Yeah.
Which is somewhat of a logical thing, but it's a horrific story of a guy who cared nothing about human beings, only about things. You know, Standard Oil.
So why the payphones?
So people would pay for their own calls.
Oh my goodness.
And there's also, I heard of a billionaire in China that doles out, I mean a super billionaire, you know, that doles out toilet paper to his employees.
Like rations it?
Rations it, yeah. 2 sheets, I don't know what it is.
That's crazy.
There's some cheap people out there.
A lot of money.
With a lot of money. Oh, there's one of the reasons why there's a slowdown.
Yeah, darn.
Oh, that helps. So we're down to 121. So we're getting there.
Yeah.
Come on, Carter.
Slowly but surely.
So what do you all know about Disneyland? Except that it costs a fortune nowadays.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, where can we get cheap tickets?
Cheaptickets.com. That's one of our sponsors.
Can you really?
No.
No?
No, but I mean, online is where you're going to get the best price, of course. It's a very expensive place nowadays.
No.
But now,
if
if you pay $1,500 a person, I think it is, you get to cut lines. So you get right to the front of the line.
Oh, that's it? That's a
Totally worth it.
You guys are rich. What the hell?
Yeah,
It's only-
that's penny
so
change.
only money.
Not this way.
But what do you know about Los Angeles? Any questions about Los Angeles?
It's a big place.
Where's the best desserts?
Ooh.
The best desserts.
Yeah. Or the best places to eat.
Well, you're going down far away from where I'm at. In Marina Del Rey, there's more restaurants per capita than anywhere. That's where I live, right near the airport. It's a beautiful marina.
Good seafood.
Great seafood. I'm a steak man, but actually I'm liking crab more than lobster nowadays. Yeah. I had a sit-down dinner for on my yacht for 34 people, and I caught all the lobster myself.
What?
Wow.
And
You have a
yeah,
yacht?
I had a yacht. I sold it. Yeah.
Nice.
It was a 65-foot motor yacht, 3 levels, three
Wow.
bedrooms.
Are you a billionaire?
I
You wouldn't tell us.
No, because you're going to ask to borrow money.
Yeah. Yeah, we need $1,500 for each Disneyland.
Are you an eccentric
Okay,
billionaire?
let me give you a check. You got the checkbook right there.
Hey.
I'm an eccentric billionaire. And there's a great song. All I want to be is a... You know that song?
Oh yeah.
Just
We know
want to
that
be
song.
a billionaire.
So flippin' bad.
Yeah, I just want a new yacht. I sold that one. It was 65 foot. I want a 100-foot yacht.
Jeez.
That would be better.
Have you got it yet?
Not yet, no. Actually, there's one for sale.
You just need to do a couple
I
more
found-
lift rides.
My old
And then
slip,
you're-
where I had my yacht for many years, was like the 12th closest boat to the ocean out of all the 6,000 boats in the marina. And the boat that's there now is for sale. It's a Sunseeker, which is a really high-end mark for a yacht. But it's only like 58 foot. But it's a beautiful, fast boat.
Yeah.
My boat was a slow boat, so it was a
So
trawler.
do you have a crew that like mans that boat? That
No, I didn't need a crew. I just needed one person.
just you?
Yeah, just one other person. But I could have done it myself. The bigger they are, the easier they are to drive, to captain, and because you go slow on a big boat.
Yeah.
The number one rule to boating, to driving a boat, and whether you have a little speedboat or anything else, it's slow is pro. is whenever you get in an accident when you're driving a boat, it's always your fault. Always.
Have we been in an accident in a boat? Remember Dad? Our new boat? How he drove it up to the thing? He thought he was putting it into neutral, but he slipped and he was putting it in the slip, and then it was a brand new boat, went straight up onto the, what are those things
Was
called?
it
Doc.
the
Yeah,
ramp?
dock.
Dock, yeah.
Yeah.
Brand new wakeboarding boat.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, because you, as a captain, at first you can't drink and drive. It's just like you can get a DUI, same as driving a car, but you need to be in total control. And so if someone were to pull out in front of you, you wouldn't be able
No
to stop in
brakes,
time.
right.
Well, you throw it in the reverse is how you brake, but you just have to always be in total control and know all their surroundings. And there's no, he pulled out in front of me, like in a car.
Yeah.
So it's a whole different thing, but it's fun. Boating's fun.
So you caught all the lobster.
I caught all the lobster.
How do you catch lobster?
You first ingredients, you get a 6-pack of beer. And
For you or for the lobster?
because if you don't catch a lobster, at least you catch a buzz. It's important. So you go out in a dinghy, little boat with an engine, and you have these pods, and you put bait in the pod, and you go out there right where the rocks are out in the ocean, and you drop the pods, and you have a line and a float and a little light because they crawl at night. They're called bugs. They call them bugs. You're going bugging, and they go out at sunset to go look for food. So they crawl into your little pod and give it a few minutes after a couple of beers, and you pull them up, and hopefully you got a few. And they clack, 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 clack. The best sound is when because it's dark, and you pulling that pod up, and all of a sudden you hear clack, 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 clack. Best I ever did was 5 lobsters in one pod.
Wow.
And that was exciting and fun. But yeah, and then
How do you catch crab?
the same way they'll crawl in there as well. Yeah. But you're looking for lobster. It's the most expensive thing you could pull out of the ocean, pretty much. And when lobster season starts, it's only about 3 months long. It's a disaster out there. People are just
Out there, like,
real rude and not very friendly because they want their lobsters. And that's my ocean. That's my spot. Ridiculous. But no, it's fun. I teach people how to do it. And then what's really exciting is when you clean a lobster, it really blows their mind. You take a lobster and you twist it in half. So you twist the body off, and then people go, oh, right. Then you break one of their antennas off, and you put it in the cavity, and you twist it, and you pull it out, and it deveins it.
Oh, that
So
quick.
within 10 seconds, you're twisting the lobster apart, putting that thing there, twisting it, and then you've got a beautiful lobster tail, all clean. But people don't like that. When they see it for the first time, their jaws drop. And it's like it looks
sounds like torture.
very, very cruel. But and then my son is a vegan, so he wouldn't eat anything. They say,
Oh.
so he never saw me do that. Luckily,
Is that what made him vegan?
Yeah, you'll never
yeah,
ever
yeah,
eat it.
exactly. No, he just did it on his own. I don't know why.
They
My wife's French and a gourmet cook, and he ate everything as a kid. I mean, never once ate out of a Gerber bottle. I mean, she cooked vegetables every night as a baby, and as a kid, they always ate really well. But he just,
Nothing?
I think it was his wife maybe.
How many children did you say again?
Well, we got 4,
4.
2 girls and 2 boys.
Okay.
Perfect.
Perfect.
And a great.
And
yeah.
the boys became tennis professionals. I taught them to play tennis early on, and they got full rides in college and went on to the pro tour.
Awesome.
The younger one played all the Grand Slams. That was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you play tennis too?
I love tennis. Getting out of shape now. But it's still fun. It's a sport of a lifetime. They have the 90-year-old divisions, a national competition. I remember hearing a story of a 93-year-old playing a 90-year-old. And halfway through the match, he goes, to be 90 again. It's pretty funny. It comes up on you pretty quick,
Yeah.
I like to give advice to young people because I've done a lot of things, and And I think most people really don't grasp how every day is important until they're like 50. I think most people at 50, then they start to really realize what's going on and start enjoying life more. And of course, then you have your regrets, which I don't believe you should ever have regrets. I believe that life is a series of left and right turns. And you have to look at every turn you make as the right turn. And when you look at every turn you've made, go to college, don't go to college, get married, don't get married, as the right decision and the right turn, you get confidence in yourself. And the more confidence you have in yourself, the better turns you're going to make, and life's beautiful.
Yeah.
See, life is a movie. Listen, actress, listen to this.
There you go, Brinkley. Did you hear that?
Kate,
Brinkley.
listen to this. Life is a movie, and every day is a scene in your movie. So you can make that scene in your movie a comedy, a traumatic experience, like being a spoiled kid and yelling and screaming, demanding things. That's an ugly scene in a movie. Who wants a scene like that in a movie? You know, but you create every day of your life a scene in your movie, right? So you want to make the scenes real happy for mommy, because she put up a lot to have you and support you and to nourish you and give you a great life. So you got to be nice to your mom in your movie. And as an actress, I suggest you should start writing. Writing is the basis of all entertainment, whether it's television, a movie, a play. It's the writing. So I suggest you think about writing. And I like to encourage people to write 5 minutes a day, even if it's just a journal. And if you write 5 minutes a day, how many minutes is that a month, do you think?
15. Uses 5 times 3.
15 then yeah.
Well, I would say 5 times 30, yeah.
5 times 30.
150.
So that's 150 minutes every month. And that's over 1,000 a year. So just a little bit of effort every day creates a novel one day, let's say. So if you're going to be an actress, you'd be a much more popular actress if you wrote the movie you're in, right? Like this weekend, you could almost write a short story on your trip to California in Disneyland and start thinking of the scenes. Well, one, it was an hour and a half to go 30 miles. Now, who can figure out how fast we're going if we go an hour and a half in 30 minutes? What speed are we going? Anybody can figure that one out?
You're going to make us do math.
That was the worst. That was mine.
Well, the worst was if a train is traveling this fast and the smoke is going this way.
Rate times.
Well, I'll ask you a question. If an electric train is going 30 miles an hour down the road, and the wind is blowing 30 miles against it, which way is the smoke going from the train?
This is a joke.
30 miles an hour,
Yeah, straight up.
straight up?
Yeah.
No, electric trains don't have smoke.
I knew it.
Ha It's Monty, you got it over on you.
Yeah.
So, just call me Professor Monty, because I've got answers for everything.
Tell us about teenagers, raising teenagers.
Teenagers. Well, girl teenagers are a whole different animal, because, and you guys both know that because you both were teenagers, and don't tell me when you were 17, nobody could tell you anything, because you knew all the answers, and you didn't listen to anybody. So you got to put that thought in your
Doesn't
mind.
it start at 14?
Yeah, but probably,
For
all the teenagers are the same. They think, which is good to have that kind of confidence that they think they know it all, but and because you're giving them free advice, they won't listen to it, because no one respects free advice, right? If you spend $10,000 and just the one for advice, they're gonna, that's some good advice, you know, right? So raising kids is just it starts earlier, way earlier than people don't realize, because they have great memories, and they remember that when they cried in the crib and you came running, they got what they wanted. Every time they cried in the crib, you came running. So they kept doing that because they got what they wanted. And once they get control, you never get it back. And here's a real important thing: punishment. You have to stick to it to a T, because if they know you're going to give in a day early because the prom's coming and they were grounded, then they'll do what they can to get that extra day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the point is, if you say you're grounded for a week and you always stick to a week, they won't do things if they know they're going to get caught and they know you're going to stick to a week. You have to be so strong in sticking to your punishments.
Yeah.
Never let them off early. Oh, something special is happening. No, doesn't matter. This is the rule. Are you strong enough to do that? Probably not.
Sometimes.
No, it can't be sometimes. Because
be
they
all the
know
time.
that. They know that it's just going to be sometimes.
Yeah, it's
and they
true.
can just break you down.
That's true.
They're going to break you down.
My husband's really good.
Yeah, mine too.
Well, you need to straighten us off, but you can't give in. Because they're too smart.
softie.
These little ones are too
Yeah,
smart.
they are.
And you had a couple drinks, you forgot about something. They don't forget about that. They're not drinking. They're remembering how to get it over on you. How to get over on mom and dad. What can they get away with? And you can't blame them. That's just, part of nature to, get it over on your parents. They're so stupid. They think we're doing this, Oh, look at that. It's opening up. 11 miles to 605. Well, we're down to an hour and 11 minutes, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my goodness.
And we're about the end of our show. Any other questions, comments? Want to say anything to the crowd? Tell your friends back home this is what happens in Los Angeles on a lift ride.
Good times.
Well,
Have
thank
fun
you.
camping, boys.
Yeah. Where are they going camping at?
I don't even know.
Don't care.
No.
As long as they come back in one piece.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, no black eyes, please.
Yeah. They're not clamping, right?
Or broken
Or
bones.
glamping.
No,
No, they're
they're
camping.
camping.
Real camping.
Mhm.
Cool. Okay, well, ladies, thank you for being on the show. And remember to tell your friends about supporting our servicemen. It's a wonderful charity. And
Will do.
see you later.